If you care what people think, you won't retire early. Most people won't retire because they're terrified of the dumbest monster on earth, other people's opinions. It's not a lack of money, it's a lack of confidence. Some folks would rather look rich than be free. They'll finance a car they can't afford, take a vacation they need to recover from, financially and physically, and then make fun of the guy with roommates who retired 20 years before they did. If you're scared of judgment, you're not going to build wealth. You're trying to build an audience. The judgment starts when you try to be smart. The moment you start saving money, people act confused, like you joined a cult. You say, "Hey, I'm thinking about house hacking." They say, "What? You want roommates? You can afford a bigger house. You should get one." Yes, you can afford it. That's why you don't buy it. You buy a duplex. Why don't you just get a single family house like everyone else, is what you're going to hear. Because I don't want a house payment. I want tenants who make the house payment, while I sit quietly and do nothing, as much of the nothing as I want to. Not only will they judge where you live, but they'll judge how you live. It's like the judgment of the broke Olympics. Olympics? You go out with your friends, you order an appetizer, not because you're starving yourself. You just don't want to pay $19 for a plate that looks like a toddler was allowed to dish up themselves. They're going to say, "Is that all you're getting?" Yes. I'm investing. When I retire early, I'm going to buy everything on the menu. It's like Pokemon. You got to eat them all. But you don't do that to get there. People will judge your frugality because they can't imagine not needing to impress strangers with mozzarella sticks. Then there's the car payment. The fastest way to know if somebody's financially doomed, look at their car payment. If the payment's bigger than their savings rate, that's not a financial choice. That's a financial prison on wheels. I show up in a 20-year-old Jeep. They're like, "Why don't you get something nicer?" Because cars don't impress me. Also, cars don't send me passive income. I've never owned a car that can pay me. Look into Turo. I'm not going to spend $600 a month on something that comes with wheels and maintenance. I'm going to spend $600 a month on something that comes with tenants and a dishwasher, not Bluetooth and a 7-year loan. Then they judge you for how you work. A friend recently said, "Why would he retire early? What would he do with his time?" His wife actually said, "What would he do with his time?" And I tried not to laugh at them. "What will be your purpose? Won't you miss your work family?" Miss them? They're not your work family. Family doesn't have to be paid to be together, although it would probably help. They're coworkers that you politely tolerate and occasionally share some room temperature pizza with. And purpose? You can figure out your purpose when you have all of the time to do anything you want, not when you have to do something somebody pays you for. Some people are addicted to work, addicted to validation. People want the title, they want the respect. They want to hear, "Oh, you're working so hard." Compliments from people who don't pay your bills. This is bad advice from people who don't invest. The people who judge you the most are always the one with zero assets. You buy a rental property. They say, "Real estate is risky." Yes, risky. Tell me more about your risk management from your studio apartment with your 4 credit cards and all of that debt and zero equity. You invest in stocks, and they say, "Well, the market could crash." Yes, and your job can lay you off. One of us is still getting paid even during a crash, and while they're sleeping. Or maybe you retire early. This It's my favorite one to hear. What if you have to go back to work again? Oh no, my worst case scenario is your every day. I'd be back at where I started. The horror. The real reason people judge you, it's not about you. Your smart financial decisions point out their bad ones. Their criticism isn't about you, it's about what they're afraid to do. If you retire at 40, it means they could have too. They're working 70 hours a week for a car and a house payment and a mortgage and all these big things that have so much of an expense that their bills need an emotional support animal. Your success makes it look like they could have done it too. You either spend money trying to impress people who you don't care, adding years to your required work life. If you stop caring about people's opinions today, you can have financial freedom forever. Every dollar you spend trying to look rich pushes retirement further and further away. Every dollar you invest gets you closer to never needing anyone's approval again. Hopefully the birds aren't too loud. Here's the moment of truth. Do you care more about what people think of you right now because they're not thinking about you? Your house, your car, your vacations? Or do you care what you think of yourself for the rest of your life? You can choose validation or freedom. If you want to choose freedom, hit subscribe. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, I do a live stream that lasts as long as the questions do. Even when I'm in Thailand, trying to figure out, what do I want to do tomorrow? Because I know I'm not doing nothing today. Have a day full of amazing.